Welcome to the Veranda. Today my guest is Shelby County Trustee Regina Newman. Welcome to the Veranda.
Thank you, Miss Angela.
Miss Regina is up for re-election for Shelby County Trustee, and I've invited her to the Veranda because there's some questions, or some answers. She's going to tell us about herself, and I'm asking the voters to look at this video, make your choice, and vote. Most importantly, vote. Welcome, Regina.
Thank you.
Tell me about Regina Newman.
Let's see. Regina Newman, before I was trustee, was an attorney. And before I was an attorney, I worked for the city of Memphis. So when I first got out of college, I went to Rhodes, which wasn't even Rhodes then. It was Southwestern. And got out of college, was working for housing and community development.
Okay.
Back in the late 70s, and we built the Orange Mountain Senior Center back then. All the curbs and gutters around all the neighborhoods in the city, things like that. And then became a kind of an internal consultant at the city on staffing and budgeting, and then became assistant treasurer and collected property taxes for city of Memphis.
And the assessor's office?
No, the assistant treasurer at city of Memphis, of Memphis taxes. And left there in 87 and went to Nashville because Ned McWhorter had become governor, and went and worked for Ned McWhorter in the Department of Revenue and collected taxes in Nashville, sales tax. And then went to law school later, working full time, went to law school at night, came back to town in 94. As I always intended to come back to town, that was my goal, and practiced law for about 15 years. And then you remember Bob Patterson used to be trustee, passed away. And Paul Matilla became trustee, and he passed away. And somebody said, you need to be trustee. And so they appointed me to be trustee for a year back in 2009.
And you were appointed back?
The county commission. So I had a unanimous vote of the county commission to be trustee when the seat was vacant. So I served for a year. And then David Lenore became trustee for 8 years. And then somebody tapped me on the shoulder again and said, you need to run in 2018. And so it's a job I've done before. And I've collected taxes for the city and the state and the county. And now the county again. And so everywhere we go, we set records and we win awards. And so I'm happy to do it again.
I hear a lot of my guests make the statement that they went away and they came back. You know, why would the credentials that you have and the knowledge that you have and the work that you've done have you decided to stay in those?
I went to Nashville, never intended to stay there, but a lot of people like Nashville. I'm not one of those people. Nashville's a very homogeneous place. It's got one group of people don't get out of their neighborhoods because traffic is so bad. So they go to work, they come home, they go to their house. Memphis has all kinds of people everywhere. We're very friendly. We travel all over the county. It's not like we just stay here. We go everywhere. It's nothing to say, well, I'm going to Whitehaven today, or I'm going to Millington, or I'm going to Hickory Hill. And we just have friendlier people. We've got a lot going on. It's not boring in Memphis ever. And so I'm just, I always intended to be here. I stayed here when I got out of school. I never even left Midtown. Just stayed right. I'm within a mile of where I went to school. And just hung around and stayed, and not intended to go anywhere. This is where I plan to be.
What does the trustee's office do? What is the trustee's office responsibility to the city of Memphis?
The trustee is a constitutional officer. Every county in the state has one, so there's 95 of us. And it was set up like the mayor, the sheriff, the trustee, the register, the assessor, and the county clerk. There's that many in every county. And in Shelby County, since we have our own charter, we're charter officers instead of constitutional officers. But our responsibilities are, number one, collect property taxes.
Collect property taxes.
Yep.
Okay.
Number two, be the banker for the county.
For the county,
right?
As far as all offices, or break that down for me. Sorry.
All the offices of Shelby County.
So the trustee's office is the banker for all the offices in Shelby County.
And the schools.
And
yes.
the schools.
Yes.
Okay.
And then invest all the county's money.
Okay.
So essentially, we handle, in Shelby County, we have the largest amount of all the counties, and we handle $3.5 billion. So what that is all the money that gets collected from all the offices, where parts of it have to go to the state, comes up through the trustee's office and it goes to the state. If the state is sending money down to the county, to the school systems, to the cities, to anything in Shelby County, it goes down through the trustee's office and we allocate it out to the various schools or cities or whatever. So we're handling all the 7 municipality money too when it comes down. And that includes if federal money comes to the state and comes to Shelby County, anywhere in Shelby County, it's coming through the trustee's office too.
Now, is this something that individually, because I'm learning this, I'm learning now. Is this something that is individually done? Say for instance, if you're collecting the funds for, it's your job, you're the bank.
Yes.
Okay. So when monies are dispersed, is there a method that it goes through to be dispersed through the trustee's office?
Now, we don't handle the county budget.
Okay.
The budget is set by the commission and it's handled through county finance. But the cash, it's like we're still the bank. So if monies are going to be given to anybody in Shelby County government in their budget, it's like we holding the cash. And so just like a bank. So they'll write a check, they'll do whatever, and we just fund it.
Okay.
So essentially we work just like a bank. So the cash comes in and it gets invested and we handle all of the accounting for everybody's offices except for the budget.
Excuse me. So with that being said, I think that's a big responsibility, because that seems like that's a lot of money coming in and a big responsibility. But as you stated, you're a bank.
Right.
You're the bank for Shelby County.
Right.
Now, with so many other entities or so many other offices, they report to you, correctly? Their funding, no, not report, but their funding comes through your office, correct?
The funding comes through our office by law. So whoever collects money, all the court clerks, the assessor doesn't collect any money, all the court clerks and all the other offices, the register and the county clerk, etc. And so all the money flows through our office because it gets deposited into the outside bank, which is Regions. But we handle the accounting for all that money and invest the cash. So you got accounting on paper over here and cash being invested over here. So it's like two different things.
So who determines the investment?
We do.
The assessor's office determines
the trustee. Yeah.
I'm sorry, the trustee's office determines investments that these funds are allocated to.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yep. I got this really good investment advisor. You may know his name, Herman Morris.
You thought there was a water guy.
Yep.
Okay.
And so he is part-time. He had been an investment analyst and worked in that industry. And so when I was over at City of Memphis and served as a deputy city attorney for 5 years, and he was the city attorney. And when I became trustee, I was looking for somebody to do this job. And it was kind of a funny story because he and I were having lunch after the election. I said, help me find somebody to do this job.
I'll do it.
And no, he didn't. He never said a word. And I finally looked across. I said, why am I getting you to help me find somebody when I'm looking at somebody I need? And so he said, yeah, go ahead.
With these, because this is something I didn't know, with these investments, I'm following the trail here. So, say for instance, I'm in paying fines in county criminal court clerk's office. I go pay that fine there.
Yep.
And then that fund, that money comes to you, your bank.
Right.
And then your bank invest this money into something, some type of investment.
Something that makes the county money.
Something that makes
safe.
Okay, now, how does the reflection of this money that was invested, is it made public or is it?
Oh, yes.
It is.
All our reports are on our website every day.
Okay.
And so everything that we invest, and under state law, we can only invest in very safe things. So we're not doing Bitcoin or anything like that.
Okay.
It's CDs and commercial paper and things like that.
And once this investment pays off, the money goes back into your bank.
Sort of, but each office has accounting funds. And so when the cash comes in, we invest the cash, but at the end of the month, the offices send us their report. Put this much in this accounting fund, 201, and this much in 202, and so they're credited just like your checking account statement. They're credited on paper.
Funds available.
Yep, those are the funds they have available. And every month, when the return comes on the investments, an amount of interest is put on each of those funds for each office.
Okay.
Based on how much they had in each fund.
See, that's something I didn't know.
It's great fun.
Tell me some of the successes that the trustee's office has had with not necessarily these investments, but things that you all have done in that office.
What we've done over the past 4 years, I think when we got elected, there were improvements everybody wanted to make in their office. You know, we kind of took a clean sweep of all the Democrats in 2018 and improvements everybody wanted to make. So we kind of dug in to make those improvements, which were, in my mind, number one, making sure we're collecting all the taxes, but being fair to everybody and making sure everybody who wanted to stay in their house could get a payment plan from us if they were behind. So we've signed more payment plans than ever before. But at the same time, we've collected a bigger percentage of the money than ever before.
Because of that.
Yeah. That may be part of it. It may be that people know that we're serious. It may be because people got stimulus money and paid their old bills, which is something that happened kind of nationwide. If you had your job and didn't actually need the money to live on, then you paid old bills with it. And so in the last 3 years, the first year I was there, we hit 97% collections of first year billing. And that had never been done before. And we've done it 3 times now. And the staff just set a new record on June 30th, 97.64%. So of the 2021 taxes, that much of them has already been collected. It's done. And so that's a huge success for the county because we had over $24 million extra that the county didn't expect. And that's why county employees got the $3,000 bonuses.
And that went to all county employees?
Well, part of it. The county commission decided they would spend part of it and they would go to the county employees. And it went, let's see how it went. Well, the sheriff's office had already gotten some $5,000 bonuses, so they took them out and they gave everybody else, I think, that was permanent and full-time $3,000 apiece.
Was some of this funding, this was sad, was some of this funding allocated for the child care program?
Not that I know of, no. They may have done that in the regular budget, but not out of this surplus money.
Okay.
They'll come up with something to spend the rest later.
What programs has the trustee's office allocated for the community?
We've got, I came in and I thought, okay, we need to get some programs off the ground. And the trustee's office had tax freeze. It had tax relief. Those are state programs. But the county had never matched the tax relief amount. So I went to the county commission, and it took 3 years of arm twisting. But we finally got, last October, we got the county commission to match the amount of tax relief we give to low-income seniors and disabled veterans. So
now hold on, not me to cut you off, but I want to interject something right there. That particular program or programs such as these, this is where I have not a problem, but a small issue with. I look at a lot of the constituents that are not aware of these type programs. They don't know nothing about it. So these kind of things fly over their head. And then you have officers that say, well, we made this available or this, but I don't think it's being publicized or put out there enough for people to be able to react or respond to these particular programs. That's just a side note.
Okay.
Just throwing it in.
Well, I'll tell you what we've done. So obviously we have a little booklet, little brochure that goes out with our tax bill. So if you get a tax bill, you're going to get this information. Okay. The second thing we did, because it was doubled, and so people who were seniors and met the state income criteria or disabled, 100% disabled and living in their house, because it's for homeowners. It's not for businesses. It's for homeowners. Okay. And the amount they could get was up to $500, or the amount of their tax bill, instead of $250. And the amount that disabled veterans could get was $3,000 instead of $1,500. Okay. And so what we did, and I brought this. This is a little booklet we did in March, because I talked to the mayor's office and I said, the county has all these great programs, but nobody knows about them.
That's right.
And this is what you just said. And so we were already working with the Aging Commission to get more information out to seniors. And we were already working with the health department about senior programs. And this is a little booklet of all the county programs for seniors. And we mailed it. It's not Facebook. It's not email. It was mailed in March. And we got plenty more. If you want to call our office, we can get you some.
And what's that number?
222-0200.
222-0200. For seniors and disabled, you can call and get this book. Mm-hmm. This book tells you about all the county programs that are available. And I guarantee you, it's something in here that fits you.
Yep.
It's something in here that you can utilize to make your situation a tad bit easier, or allow you some room to breathe a little bit with times as they are now.
We called it Shelby County Cares across the bottom. And the whole idea was, because I know our programs, they're in the tax bill. So people who get tax bills should know about them if they open the little book that's inside. And so this year I even put bigger language on the front, said, please open this, because this is what happened. We mailed 100 of these out to senior citizens. Or I call them senior citizens, like our seasoned citizens like ourselves. And I got one. And so you've got what the Aging Commission does. You've got what the Tennessee Housing Development Corporation will come fix your house up. You've got the health department's food program. You've got the tax programs. And you've got one of our other programs, which is the Greater Memphis Financial Empowerment Center.
That was one of my questions.
Yeah.
Expound on that, please.
Okay. So we got a grant, and we opened 3 years ago the Greater Memphis Financial Empowerment Center. And what it does, it has certified, trained, confidential counselors, and they provide free, let me repeat, free one-on-one financial counseling as long as anybody needs it, to anybody in Shelby County. There's no income limit. There's no nothing. It's a United Way program. It's a nonprofit. It's in partnership with RISE, been doing financial literacy forever. And we have 4 counselors. And we had opened it not too long before the pandemic hit. And so everybody went remote. And we had more clients calling back than ever before, because we had touched base with a lot of people, but people didn't have time to come in, make an appointment, see their counselor. Video chat, great. Phone calls, great. So all of a sudden, everybody's following up. In 3 years, 1,100 clients, and they've eliminated and paid off $1.8 million in non-mortgage debt. $1.8 million.
Now, is this just for homeowners?
No, this is for anybody in Shelby County. It started because the trustee's office had a program called Project Home. If you wanted to get into a payment plan, you went to this little workshop
Mhm.
and you figured out how to set aside the money to get your taxes paid and get in a payment plan. And this kind of grew out of that. So we got grants for this, and it doesn't cost the taxpayers anything here. They're private sector, a CC Foundation, and the Cities for Financial Empowerment, and Bloomberg. And Nashville's had one of these centers for 10 years at least. It's done a heck of a lot of good, and we have a lot more potential. But it is free to anybody, and I tell everybody that it's not a workshop, it's not a seminar, it's not just a program. It's help for as long as you need it. So it's like Weight Watchers. You get a counselor, and you can talk to your counselor 3 times a day for a week if that's all you need. You can talk to your counselor 2 times a week for 2 years, however long you need to. Or if you fall off your budget, call them and get back on. So they've brought over 600 delinquent accounts current. They've paid off $1.8 million in debt. They've opened bank accounts. They've raised their credit score by 35 points or more. And it's just done a world of good for getting people on their feet.
Okay. So,
and most of them are employed. They're just not employed at great salaries.
Okay. So I'm hoping that you're taking heed to what you just said. And I would appreciate because a lot of people call me with questions that I can't answer, and I attempt to find the answer to what. But this little booklet seems to put you in the direction that similarly I have put you in, but it's in writing. So call that office or go that office and get you one of these books and refer to it and use it because this is something that's available for the citizens of Memphis. Next question.
Before you run off, those are in every senior center.
They're in the senior center.
And at your county commissioner's offices.
And at the county commissioner office. What about the library?
And probably at the library, but I can take care of that tomorrow.
So, y'all hear that? Okay, so what does, in correlation with all the other offices that are out there, what improvements do you think needs to be done within Shelby County government to make citizens more comfortable or more relaxed about their government?
I think we all need to provide service. And when I ran for office, I said, we're your servants. We're not your politicians. I'm not trying to be your politician. I'm trying to be your servant. And if you don't like what I do, kick me out. It's like if you go to a business and they don't treat you right, you take your money and you walk. Well, if your government doesn't treat you right, you take your vote and you put it somewhere else. I'm never running for anything else again, but I'm not a great believer in term limits. And it's just because you got the power in your hand every time you go.
I think, and that's something I have an issue with personally. That's me personally. I believe in term limits should be when you've done what you did or didn't do back. You can't do what you were supposed to do within that time, I holler at you. And let somebody else come in and give them the opportunity to do what they think needs to be done. Because presently we have so many politicians, and I use the term politicians loosely, because a lot of these offices, people are not politicians. That's their job. But they add that tiny bit of element of political influence into it. And that's what I have an issue with. And that's why I don't think it should be term limits. I think once you've been elected to do something, you do it. If you don't do it, I'll holler at you. Well, give somebody else the opportunity.
And these newspaper articles and stuff talk about term limits like that's the only way people go away. No, it's not. You can vote them out. It's your job to know and go vote them out. And so it's very important that people understand what the offices do and who's working for them and who's not. So my goal is to work hard, be smart, and do the best I can do for the people every day. And when I'm done, I'm leaving. That's it.
Okay. Tell me about the wallet warning program.
Wallet warnings. Well, we got another grant, and it was for consumer financial protection. Because I don't know if everybody knows this, but Shelby County citizens get preyed upon by scammers more than anybody in the country. Every day. And so what we discovered was that the first thing we needed to do was education. So monthly, we send out wallet warning. So it's in the Commercial Appeal. It may be in the Tri-State Defender. It's on. I'm with Bev Johnson on WDIA every month, and it was on Live at 9 for a while. And it's on our website and all our social media. Wallet warning. Wallet warning. Protect your money, because our job as trustee is to safeguard the county's money, and we want to help you safeguard yours. So don't be scammed. And this is how to avoid consumer cons, what to look for and what to do afterwards, because we're in partnership with the Better Business Bureau. So we've talked about Medicare people trying to sign you up when the Aging Commission does it for free.
And they call, like you said, that I get at least 8 calls a day from these people with Medicare. And you can
or
block
not
that
with
number,
Medicare.
or not with Medicare. And you can block that number. They call you from another number.
Well, I think I'm going to be on Bev Johnson's show Thursday at 11 or so, and we're talking about the AT&T Direct TV scam that's going on right now, where they call you, oh, I'm with AT&T, and you pay us this. And the reason we bring these things up right after we hear about them is because it's still timely. So after the storm, we did home repair scammers. And at Medicare time, we did Medicare scammers. And at tax time, we did tax scammers. And we talk also about predatory lending, because it's not illegal, but that doesn't mean it's good for you. And so all those cash advance places and all those places that just taking tons of money that you can never get out from under. But this month we're talking about AT&T, because the Better Business Bureau has told us that in the past 2 weeks of June, the last 2 weeks of June, we had 19 citizens in Shelby County lost $600 apiece on that phone call. So if you look on the Commercial Appeal, they've got a recording of the phone call we gave them. So these are the people that are calling you trying to get your money, and they're not AT&T and they're not DirecTV. They're fake. So what we've tried to do is bring up what's current and let people know what's going on and what to do and who to call. And as time goes by, because we had a big group we put together with a commissioner and a councilman and a legislator and a state senator and Aging Commission, Kim Doherty, and some other people from the community, and Brad Watkins and lots of folks, to come up with ideas on all the scams that we need to address and how we need to do it. So first is education, getting the word out. We're going to work on some legislation. We're going to work on enforcing what legislation we have, because Tennessee's legislation on scamming is not bad. It's pretty good.
It's pretty tight,
but
there's still loopholes.
It's not enforcing.
That's right. There's still loopholes for that. And that was going to be my next question. What are some of the things that you think your office can do to improve relations with the constituents? And you just answered that.
Well, we're trying to make it easy. We started e-billing 3 years ago. So you don't have to get a bill in the mail if you don't want one. You can sign up for an e-bill. It comes to your email. We've started last fall, we started pay by phone. So we've always had the phone app, where you can download Pay at 901, and it's a phone app on your phone, pay your city and county taxes. But now we have pay it by phone at the office.
I've got to comment on that. It's just me, senior teenager. I'm a teenager. I don't like phone apps because I tried dealing with that. I'm not financially smart.
Yep.
And that can be confusing to some seniors.
Yep. And it's not necessary that they use it.
That's right.
Okay. So we have pay by phone, which is you call our phone number, the 2220200, and you hit pound and you pay that way. And so it's not like going on the web or doing the phone or any of that kind of stuff. I know my mama doesn't use phone either.
I don't respect that at all. I mean, I paid something online one time, and I wound up paying everything I had on Cash App. The whole amount.
Uh-oh, don't do that anymore.
Don't do that no more.
But I mean, we're still open.
I didn't know what I was doing.
We're still open every day. We've been open every day through COVID. The office is there. The cashiers are there. We've got a staff that's trained to be nice to people, because most of who we deal with is seniors.
You think?
Most of who we deal with is seniors, and they get compliments every month.
That is a problem with not only county offices, but with Memphis like that. I want to interview somebody Memphis like that water because I got a real bone to pick with them. Customer service. But customer service is a big issue for seniors and anybody else. And with as much money as the county and Memphis Light, Gas, and Water and all these other agencies are receiving, you would expect better service. Now, mind you, I understand that people in your office or people that might be like this one might be having a bad day. Okay, don't put them on the phone that day.
Yeah.
Because I'm having a bad enough day because my light's off. And then I got somebody got a bad day too, and we can't come to nothing. So I think that that's something that the county and Memphis Light, Gas, and Water need to work on. Now, next question.
Can I tell you about our phones?
Yeah.
So we got these phones that some of our collectors been at home. They answer the phones, and they've been rotating through the office since COVID started. Some of them work from home, and they come in 1 week a month. Just so we've got at least 10 people to answer the phone in case the internet goes out or whatever, because they're on the internet. So that system tracks our phones. And over 99% of our calls are answered in 29 seconds or left. Now I'm going to repeat that because I am one of those people who has had to call everybody lately. You know, whether it's your insurance company, whether it's your mama's insurance company, whether it's your cable, your phone, your TV, you know, light, gas, and water, whatever, and you are on hold for an hour. And we answer our calls in 29 seconds or less.
You know I'm checked it out.
Go right ahead.
You know I'm call with my stop.
Because if anybody hangs up, I know who it was and what time it was.
And I'm going to call you and say, look at here. What are you planning for the next 4 years?
We're in the process of trying to get some kiosks back. Speaking of consumer-friendly stuff, some of our seniors loved the kiosks, and my predecessor took them away. But there's some new ones that handle cash, which also helps during COVID. So they don't have to have a cashier there. So we tried to get some kiosks back as a test project last fall, and supply chain issues and no computer chips, and we couldn't get them. So we're still trying to get some kiosks back because people, they don't want to pay on the web and they don't want to do the phone app and all that, but they want to have their receipt in their hands. So this is the goal of people who pay taxes. They want to pay their money and get their receipt in their hands, and the little kiosk did that. And it's also saving personnel because we have just enough personnel to send around during tax season. They go all over the county, but they're there 1 day a week. They're 1 day in Whitehaven, and they're 1 day in Fraser, and they're 1 day in Bartlett, and they're 1 day in Collierville. And so...
And you have how many locations?
We only have one location, but we have remote cashiers during tax season. Okay. So the little brochure in your tax bill tell you where we are and what day. And we partnered up with the Shelby County Credit Union, which has 2 drive-thrus. So that was good for COVID last year and the year before. But I want to get some kiosks back because they're there all the time. They can be somewhere all the time. And we have some locations, North Memphis, South Memphis, Whitehaven, and Bartlett, that use the heck out of the kiosks. And I'd like to put some back. It's just a way to provide more service without having to get more people. Yeah. That's one thing for the next 4 years. Okay. And I hope it doesn't take 4 years. I was supposed to already be done. And the other one is we're replacing a 25-year-old system, our computer system.
Now, I've heard that with a lot of offices.
Yeah.
The system is outdated. So is this something that's forthcoming, or is this
It's in process, and it's going to go live in March of 24. So we've already been working on it. We got a contract, and they've been working for a year.
And
it's just a lot of work.
All the county clerks,
just the trustees.
But that's a problem.
Because it's about taxes.
It's about taxes.
Yeah, it's about taxes. Okay. So it's not accounting for everything, but the county is working on something, an accounting system for everybody, countywide. And but the nice thing is, see, these things are now in the cloud. So instead of having to be at your desk at your computer to log in and make a tax payment, our staff doesn't have to do that. They'll be able to do that from home. They'll be able to do that from anywhere. And because they can access their their personal login from anywhere. So it's more of a service. If it had not been for COVID, Angela, when the ice storm came 2 years ago, the last week of tax season, and people were going because they couldn't get to the post office to mail their bills, they could call our staff because our people were working from home. Because we learned that during COVID, okay, you don't have to come in the office, your computer's set up, and they could talk. The phones were open. We talked to people all day, and if it hadn't been for COVID, we wouldn't have been able to do that. We would have been closed. So it's just learning as time goes by. So we try to plan for disasters now. We try to do more than we ever did to make things easier for people. And as time goes by, most of our properties are owned by seniors, and it's mostly seniors we deal with, because the younger folks have mortgages.
Yeah.
And so the mortgage company pays their taxes, and we'll never see them until their mortgage gets paid off, and then they'll come in wondering, who do I pay taxes to? But
so what do you want the people to know about you and the assessor's office? You and the trustee's office. What is it you want to tell? I want you to look in the camera, and I want you to tell the constituents and my viewers what it is you want them to know.
I want you to know that we've done a better job than any trustee before us, that we've set new records that no trustee ever did, that we have more payment plans than ever before. And for goodness sake, if you ever need help with your taxes or your tax relief, or you get in trouble on your taxes, call us and get a payment plan. There's no reason for you to go to tax sale. There's no reason for you to file bankruptcy. Call us and get a payment plan. And we do that all day, every day. And there's very, very few people that end up in tax sale anymore. But we're here to help. We really are. And I have some very nice folks that have been with the office forever and a day. I've got some that have been there 37 years. And they get complimented. They get flowers from taxpayers. It's like they're the most helpful people in the world. So please call us and we'll talk to you.
Now, y'all heard that. So you have two options. You can either follow up with what she said, or you can go into tax sale. Two options. So my reason for doing these type of interviews, I'm not endorsing or not endorsing anyone, but I'm making it available for people to know what is available, what is out there.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard her story. You've heard what her office does, what her office plans on doing. So look at the video, share it, make your choice. Regina Newman, Shelby County Trustee. I want to thank you for coming to the Veranda.
Thank you,
Is there
Angela.
anything else you want to say?
No, ma'am.
Would you like some more iced tea?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you.